plunging headfirst into one of the most enigmatic substances out there, DMT, N and dimethyltryptamine.
That's the one.
Our source material for this dive pulls together some really comprehensive notes on its properties and, crucially, harm reduction insights.
Which is so important with this topic.
Absolutely. Our mission here is to cut through some of the noise, give you a clear shortcut to understanding what DMT actually is, its, well, profound effects, and the key things to keep in mind.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's unpack this. We've heard DMT is in plants, animals. But the part that fascinates me from the sources is, finding it, even in tiny amounts, right inside the human body.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of challenges our whole idea of consciousness, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And what's really intriguing is that this naturally occurring tryptamine, it causes incredibly intense visuals, really strong psychedelic effects.
Right.
Especially when it's smoked. Or, and this is key, when ingested alongside an MAOI, that's a monoamine oxidase inhibitor.
Like an ayahuasca.
Exactly. Like in traditional ayahuasca brews, or also in changa, which is basically DMT-infused plant matter. You usually see it as a powder or crystal. Could be white, yellow, sometimes pink or orange.
So whether it's smoked, maybe in a vaporizer, or taken in ayahuasca, the sources say the experience is incredibly brief.
That's right, especially when smoked. The entire journey can be like just 3 to 20 minutes.
Wow.
And the peak, often only 3 to 15 minutes. It's a remarkable intensity packed into such a short time.
Does that speed, that brevity, have implications for the experience itself?
Oh, definitely. If you think about it, the famous set and setting.
Your mindset and the...
Precisely. Your internal state, mind, and body, and the external environment. They profoundly shape that intense, really short trip. Physically, people report powerful visuals, both open and closed eye.
Okay.
Unusual body sensations, too, like chills, maybe tingling, and definitely an increased heart rate and blood pressure.
And emotionally, I imagine it's a roller coaster.
It can be huge. From profound, maybe life-changing spiritual feelings, a sense of oneness with everything, but also potentially intense anxiety, panic, or, real fear. It spans a massive range.
And psychologically?
Well, there are these powerful rushing sensations people describe. Auditory stuff, too, like distortions, often a buzzing sound. A really radical shift in perspective is common.
The ego death thing.
Exactly. What's often called ego death, that temporary loss of your sense of self. And interestingly, it can even cause temporary verbal dyspraxia.
Meaning?
Making it surprisingly hard to coordinate speech for a bit.
Huh. And just adding a detail from the sources smoked, DMT apparently has a very distinct smell, almost chemical.
Yeah, often described that way. And maybe a mild burning sensation when inhaled.
Okay, so given that intensity and how quick it is, harm reduction seems absolutely critical.
Paramount, yeah. The core advice really boils down to using it in comfortable places with people you trust. Ideally, having a sober trip sitter present. Finding somewhere with low stimuli, remembering to breathe calmly, that helps. And taking your time. More is definitely not better with something this potent. Start low.
The sources even get specific about smoking at don't share pipes or vapes and aim for a vaporization temperature of 60, 80 degrees Celsius.
Right. Too high and it burns. Apparently tastes awful.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. And doses, recreational vaporized doses, 5-10 milligrams is light, but 30-40 is considered heavy. That's a big difference.
Huge difference in the experience. And that brings up another vital point. Mixing DMT with other drugs, it's strongly advised against.
Why is that? Just too intense.
Partly the intensity, but also just limited information on interactions. For instance, tramadol is a really dangerous mix.
Right.
It lowers the seizure threshold significantly.
Okay, good to know.
Cannabis can be unpredictable. Stimulants might just ramp up anxiety. And SSRIs, well, they might actually decrease the effects, though more research is needed there.
So, caution all around.
Definitely. And crucially, if you have, or you're at risk for, conditions like asthma, anxiety disorders, psychotic disorders, schizophrenia, or heart problems, taking DMT could be exceptionally risky.
Understood.
And while it's rare, some people report re-experiencing effects later. Plus, while DMT isn't strongly linked, psychedelics in general might accelerate mental health issues if someone's already predisposed.
Beyond personal health, there's the legal side too. Roadside drug tests, the saliva ones, they don't look for DMT itself.
Not usually, no. But they will pick up other things it might be cut with. Anyway, driving under the influence of any illicit substance is illegal, full stop.
So wait at least 24 hours before driving. That's the recommendation.
Absolutely. And worth noting, workplace tests can detect it. Urine for maybe 24 hours plus, hair follicles for up to 90 days.
Wow, okay. and testing the substance itself.
Lab testing is pretty limited in places like
Mhm.
Australia, but DIY region tests, Marquis, Mech, Mandolin,
Mhm.
they will react if DMT is present. Helps give some idea at least.
Right. So we've covered the, frankly, startling speed of the smoked experience, those profound shifts in perception, and the really crucial safety stuff.
Yeah, and I think what really comes through from our sources is that in an unregulated market, you just don't know the purity or the dose. So knowledge really is power here. It's key to reducing risk.
Definitely.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. How might understanding these reported effects, profound, short-lived consciousness altering from a substance that's, naturally occurring, how might that shift your perspective on human experience, on perception itself? Even if you never encountered DMT, what stands out to you from all this?